Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending the time you are watching this video. My name is Godwin. I am an interior designer and Sketchup instructor, as well as a tutor at Simple Interior School of Design and Entrepreneurship at number 79 Faruru Street along Lawasin Road, Surrey, Lagos, Nigeria. I've been working with 3D visualization and interior design for several years, and one of my favorite tools for creating realistic visual for presentation is Vray for Sketchup. In today's lesson, I will be walking you through a complete Vray rendering workflow using one bedroom space, which I have already designed. I will start by setting Vray, adding materials and lighting, and adjusting camera angles, which is very important. And finally, producing a realistic final render. So, if you have ever wondered how to make your SketchUp models look real-life photographs, stay with me till the end of this lesson. I promise it will worth it. So, let's dive into SketchUp, and let me show you how you can do all these things by creating a realistic image from your 3D or from your SketchUp model which you have designed. Before we begin rendering, the first thing we need to do is to make sure that Vray is properly set up inside SketchUp. This setup stages is very important because it determines how your lighting, materials, and final image will look. So let's open our SketchUp. As you can see, I have already modeled one bedroom space, and now we are ready to bring it to life with Vray. So the position here, if I render here, I'm going to see exactly this place. So I want to make this place is sync. So let me turn this place is sync. So how do I do that? You come to view, So when you click view, then you come to animation, then you see where I have add to sync. Then you come here, you add to sync. So that means I have also added this area to sync. So let me place in one, let's see. So this is my scene one. This is my scene one. But let me quickly zoom this, okay? Okay, I like it this way. Let me update the scene. So I rearrange the camera angles again just to have much more of the space. So now I want, instead of me creating another scene, I need to update this scene by right click my mouse and click update. Okay, so I have done that. So let me go to scene 2. So this is my scene 2 and this is my scene 1. You see that. So I'm taking this as my scene 3. So I'm taking this as my scene 3. Please, I hope you're paying attention. So I already set the camera angles for this section. So it seems like probably I'm capturing a particular area. So that is the meaning of the camera angles, setting up the camera angles. So we have some tools for setting up the camera angles. We can also use them. So let me probably create this scene. This is scene 3. So my view, animation, and add to sync. The camera angles, you can as well use your walkthrough. So you can also use a walkthrough. These are walkthrough tools to move around to see or set a particular place. Okay, you see the way I'm moving. So if I decide, I can add this area also as scene 4. So let me do that. Create here as scene 4. So what I did, I used my walkthrough to move around to see some particular place that is needed to add as scene. Just, you see what I'm doing. So this is the camera angle setting up. So you see that. So I can even add here as my scene. So I'm having scene 5. You can add as many scenes as you want. Okay. So let's go to asset editor. So here I have my asset editor. But before that, I want to put my scene 1. I want to go to my scene 1. So this is my scene 1. So let's open our asset editor. So here is our asset editor. The rendering setting. And the first thing we do, I'll show you guys how you can create your scene by going to view, go to animation and add your scenes. Create your scenes, capture a scene. So but today we're going to talk about rendering settings. So let me quickly go to the asset editor so you see what I'm talking about. So this is our Vray asset editor. So this is Vray asset. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll be talking about the rendering setting. Right now we have not changed some materials, but after the rendering setting, I'm going to show you how you can also change your materials and put a good looking material on your 3D models. Okay. So if you look at this area, you see I have a metal arrow here on my right hand side, I think, and if you click this, you're going to have where we have our Vray materials. So here we have our Vray materials, and if you come this area, you're going to see the other side. This is where we set our material. This is where our material falls, and that is where we set our materials. So how do I add my materials here? If I come here, select this, right click my mouse, I right click and add this to scene. So I have to adding this to scene means that I have to click this add to scene. So when I click this add to scene, it will automatically bring it this side. So in this area, I can adjust the materials if I want, or I can do some setting on the materials if I want. If I don't want, I can quickly just go to my Sketchup where the material will fall in and take this and apply anywhere. But that is not what we are going to talk about today. Then we will still talk about that. Well, let me first of all finish the rendering setting then before we move into that area. Okay, so here is the setting. So this is our rendering setting into the rendering setting. Now the first thing, before you click your rendering, you must consider where you want to, the engine you want to place, or you want your rendering to work with, to operate. When you click render in Vray, your computer needs to calculate all the lighting, materials, and reflection in your 3D scene. So but before then, the part of your computer that performs this heavy calculation is called the rendering engine. So these are the rendering engine where you have your CPU, CUDA, and RTX. So these are your rendering engine. So Vray gives you three main types of rendering engines, and one of it is CPU engine, CUDA engine, RTX engine. So each one uses a different part of your computer hardware to do the job. So each one you click, or each one you choose, uses a different part of your computer to do what, to do their rendering job. Okay, so CPU stands for central processing unit. So it is the main processor of your computer, the brain that handles all your general tasks. So that is CPU. So when you use the CPU engine, Vray uses only your computer to process your computer's processor to render the image. Think of CPU rendering like having one strong person who does everything, but he does it smart, reliable, very good, but he is not the fastest when he's working alone. You can render with CPU, but it's not that fast when you are rendering. But the rendering is very, very good, powerful, very excellent. But when you are rendering with CPU, you don't expect fastness in rendering. Okay. So when you talk about CUDA, CUDA is a technology made by NVIDIA GPU company. NVIDIA GPU company. So CUDA is a technology made by NVIDIA GPU company. So when you select CUDA, Vray uses your graphics card GPU and optionally your CPU to help render the image. Optionally your CPU to help render the image. So this means the GPU, which is built for fast calculation, takes over much of the rendering work. So what it means that if you are using CUDA, which means you must have an NVIDIA GPU system, which will definitely make your rendering more faster than the CPU here. So this is the CUDA. So whenever you're rendering, so you also know the one, you will determine the one you have to use. Also your system will also determine. So if you are just using CPU, any system can render with CPU, whether you have NVIDIA GTS, RTX, normal laptop graphics card engine, or RS, Quadra, fat, you can render with CPU. But if you want to make your render more faster, then you need to move to CUDA, or you also move to RTX. Okay, so that is the differences here. If CPU is one worker, then CUDA rendering is like hiring hundreds of workers to assist the CPU to work together. They finish the job much faster. So this is the difference. So if you are using RTX engine, RTX is the most advanced Vray render engine designed by NVIDIA RTX graphics card. It uses real-time ray tracing, a technology that simulates light and reflection almost like in real life. That is RTX. So RTX rendering gives you photorealistic results with high speed and accuracy. So whenever, if you have RTX system, there is no need or no point of view rendering with CPU, rendering with CUDA. Just go ahead and choose your RTX. So if I'm choosing my RTX, there is a dot here. That is a dot here. So when I click this dot, I click this, I have automatically click my NVIDIA GeForce RTX. So you can see my system here is RTX. But if your system is not RTX, you cannot use RTX to render. You can either use your CPU or your CUDA. But this does not mean that the rendering are different. So the only difference is the three engine have here is the fastness in rendering, but their rendering quality is the same. Okay. So progressive rendering is a render mode that gradually refines your image over time until it becomes clean and smooth. When you press render, it starts by showing a raw version of the entire image and then keeps improving the details in little by little. I'm going to show you this and show you how show you exactly what I mean by progressive rendering. So let me quickly show you my progress. So right now my progressive rendering here, this is my progressive rendering and it's kind of off right now, but I want to turn it on. So let me show you what I mean by taking a little time to render this particular space here. So remember I told you here we have interactive rendering and we have progressive rendering. So I have turned on my progressive rendering, and here is where if I click here, we have all this here. This particular one is called interactive render, and this one here is called progressive render. So let me click the progressive render. Let's see how it works. Just few seconds. So the image of the area or the scene I'm rendering is has started showing right here. So this is what I'm using right now is progressive rendering. So I will also going to explain in full details, also explain the interactive rendering and how it works, so that you can understand it better and better and better. So this is our progressive rendering. You can see what I said is a render mode that gradually refines your image over time until it becomes clean and smooth. So it refines the image until it becomes clean and smooth. So whenever it finishes, it's going to show here finish. It's going to tell you finish over here. So when you see finish over here, just know that your image has finished rendering. And if you want to save this image, then you have to come here and click here. Then it will take you to your files, and where you can see save, and you can save that. But if you want to stop this rendering, probably you want to do something else and you want to stop this rendering, it's very simple. You move down to here where we have abort rendering. So when you click the abort rendering, it means that you have automatically stopped the rendering process or progress. So let's abort the rendering. So we move on to interactive rendering, and I'm going to explain in details also, so you will definitely understand and have or understand or know the direction I'm going. Let me just use that for you to know what I'm talking about. Okay. So I have ended the rendering, and if you watch here, because I ended the rendering without allowing it to get finished, it's already showing me finish here because I have aborted the rendering. So let's move on to the interactive rendering. If you come here, we have render. If you come here, we have interactive render. You can as well get it from the Vray asset editor where you have interactive render. So we talk about interactive render is similar to progressive render, but it updates live and instantly while you make changes in your SketchUp model. You understand that it updates live and instantly while you make changes in your SketchUp model. It is like having a real-time preview of your scene inside the Vray free buffer. Yes, Vray free buffer. Here we call this Vray. Where we have our rendering picture, we call it Vray frame buffer. Okay. So interactive rendering is like having a viewer watch you as you walk. Immediately, you just like someone watching you as you walk. Whatever you do, the person see you doing that, or the person do exactly what you do. You just like interactive rendering. So the moment you move a light, change a color, or rotate your camera, Vray updates the render instantly, so you can see the effect in the real time. So what it means that the interactive render is just like you watching whatever you are doing. Like whatever you are doing, if you make any changes in your interactive render, you see it immediately. It will start over immediately. You don't need to keep rendering again. It will start over immediately. If you add any materials, you see it in the interactive render. If you move or change any colors, you see it immediately in the interactive render. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So let me click the interactive render here, so you see exactly what I mean right now. Like I was saying, this area we call it Vray frame buffer. Vray frame buffer. You can see it over here, Vray frame buffer. So this right now is working with interactive render. But I want to show you something. Watch what I'm going to do. I want to move back my scene. You see, it keep moving back the scene. So if whatever I do, it keep capturing it at that moment. So you can see I'm still moving. Look at my mouse here. Look at my mouse. Look at my mouse right here. So you see, I'm zooming back, and but you see, whatever I do, it does it. Whatever I do, it does it. So I'm moving back, and once I move back, it keeps moving back, it keeps following, taking exactly whatever I'm doing at that moment, picking them. So this is just interactive render. So if you are ready on making any changes, you will definitely see it how it looks like before your final render. So in your final render, you have to use progressive render to do your final rendering. Okay, so let's abort this render and let's move back to where we were before. So let me quickly put this to the final conclusion about progressive and interactive render. You understand? So progressive render is like taking a photo and watch it become sharper in the longer the longer you wait. And interactive render is like using a live camera. It keeps showing you what's happening right now as you move, right, change colors, or even adjust furnitures. It shows you exactly what you are doing at that moment. Both using the same viewing engine, but interactive focus on speed and feedback, while progressive focus on quality and accuracy. So interactive usually focus on speed and feedback. Like I said, whatever you change, it changes immediately in interactive rendering if you're using interactive rendering. But once it comes to progressive rendering, it produces qualities and focus on qualities and accuracy, and it give you clean rendering image. So if you are making your final rendering, I advise you keep using your progressive render, and that is what everyone use, progressive render, to do their final image. And a few minutes ago I talked about the CPU CUDA, right? But assistant, since I'm using CPU to render, that, like I say, it doesn't matter which one you render, but if you need if you need fastness, you move to RTX. But since I don't even care, because I have a good quality system to render, so I can use my CPU, I can use CUDA, I can use RTX. So right now we want to talk about the rendering quality. So the rendering quality starts from low plus, medium plus, high plus. But the best quality to use when rendering your 3D models is from medium plus or high plus. But I usually use high. Because that is one of my favorite rendering quality when it comes to taking rendering in 3D models in Sketchup. But if you are just testing your render, I think it's better you go to either medium is okay for testing your render. But I'm going to explain why you can use your low plus, medium, or even high. So like I said, the render quality controls how precisely Vray calculates light, shadows, reflection, and materials in your space. I come again. Render quality controls how precisely Vray calculates light, shadows, and reflection and materials in your scene. In simple terms, higher quality, cleaner, more. So when you choose the higher quality, it cleans your image more, it gives you more quality, realistic image, but longer render time. So it takes a lot of time to render because you are using high quality. So if you go to low quality, fast rendering, but more noise and less detail. So low quality is very fast in rendering, but you're looking at your image, is not going to be that cleaner or clear enough, or it give you less details. So that is about the quality. So it is about finding the right balance between speed and realism, depending on your project or computer power. So if you have a very good quality system, you can even go to high plus. Yes, you can go to high plus. But if your system, like my system is a very high system, I can even go to high plus and use my RTX to do render that I have a very good quality image. But if you don't have a high system, then I advise you can use your medium. You can use your medium plus, or you just go to high. That is it. That is about rendering quality. So the other point I want to talk about here is your denoiser. So whenever you are rendering, advise and I urge you, make sure you always turn on your denoiser, and this is the reason why you should turn on your denoiser. When Vray finishes a render, sometimes the image look grainy or has small dots or noise, especially in dark areas, glossy surface, or low light sinks. That noise happens because Vray simulates light by tracing thousands or millions of light rays, and if there aren't enough samples, the result looks rough. Denoiser is a smart filter that automatically removes that noise from your render, giving you a cleaner, smoother, and more realistic image without having to increase your render time too much. So this is about denoiser. So it's very important whenever you are making any rendering in your Sketchup, make sure you turn on your denoiser. It helps you to smoothen or clean your image after rendering. So you're presenting such a 3D photorealistic image to your client, you will give them a good impression, and that you can do better even on live projects. So it's better you always turn on your denoiser. So right here, I just click here to turn on my denoiser. Then let's quickly move into camera. In camera, actually there is nothing much to set there because everything is already set well. So but if I want to talk about, I will just talk about a little more on white balance, so you can understand the white balance. So this is white balance. So white balance controls how Vray interpret the colors of light in your scene. Remember I said white balance controls how Vray interpret the colors of light in your scene, especially the white. It adjusts the temperature of light, making your render look cooler, brushes, or warmer, usually just like a real photograph. So in simple words, white balance makes sure that white looks truly white in your scene, or in your render, not blue or yellow unless you want the effect. So white balance helps us control the color temperature of our scene. If your render looks too yellow, you can correct it by adding a bluish white balance. If it looks too blue, you can add a bit of warm using orange tones. The goal is to make your white look truly white, so every other color in your render looks accurate and realistic, just like we photograph. So let me show you what I mean. First, I'm going to use the interactive render to showcase this so you can understand better. So let me put on my interactive render. So this is my interactive render. Let me adjust this a bit. Okay, yeah, good. This is looking good. Now, when you talk about the white balance, so probably if I want to change the color to bluish or yellowish or even warm, so where I need to click is here, where I have my white color. So just click this, it will bring you to this color chart where you can set the color. So if you watch here, I'm having my white, so the color in my render is actually white. But let's see if I can change this to any other color. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to use 7,000 here. Remember what we have 6,584. So I'm going to use 7,000 here. So let me try 7,000. So you see it changes this a bit. But let me just try to pick the color here. Let's see. Oh, you see. So it changes to warm color. So it seems that the bluish changes to warm. I'm going to try some other colors. Let's see what you're going to get. So if you watch here, the bluish changes to warm. So let's go to the white back. Let's see. So it now changes to cool color. So let's try this. Let's try using the warm color. Let's see what we're going to get. So let me choose the warm color here. Oh, you see, when I choose the one color, it automatically changes to cool color. So you see, so you can as well control the color of the render using your white balance. So let's try going to green. Let's see what we have. Oh, this changes to purple. This changes the space to purple. So let's just move down to red. Let's see what we have. Oh, it changes to green. So you see, you can as well control your render or your scene color using your white balance. So that is all about the white balance. So there is nothing much for you to talk about. But let me quickly put this back to white because I don't need the color. So I think this is good. So let's abort the render and let's see talk about other things. So in this area, there is nothing much for you to talk about. In the camera area, you can only just talk about this setting and the white balance. Probably there's nothing much. Everything, your standard is okay. Your exposure, you just know you're going to turn it on, and the exposure volume is okay. It's okay. So we have 12. So you see, this is just the, so that's why I just said it is okay having the exposure, not just touch it, because the more you increase it, the brighter in white color you get. If you reduce it, it gets darker. So it's better if it's at that 12 it was okay. At that 12 it was okay. So this is okay. So that's why I said there's nothing to talk about here. So let's quickly close the camera and talk about the render output. So let's open our render output. So the first thing you see here is your save frame. So I'm going to talk about the save frame and also why it's important for you to always check on your save frame. So save frame is like your camera's boundary. It helps you see exactly what the render we captured. I'm going to show you. It helps you see exactly what the camera we captured. keeps your proportions correct and prevents unexpected cropping. If you want professional result, always turn it on before rendering. Remember, I said if you want a professional result, always turn it on before rendering. So set frames help you compose your shots correctly, so what you see in your preview is exactly what Vray will render. So let us turn our set frame and you will see what I mean. Oh, you say, let me turn it off. I want you to notice something right here. You see, I turn it off if it comes from. So if I turn it on, it shift back. So what this means is giving you where your rendering is going to take place if you are rendering. So if you notice, I'm coming, let me put this off. So if you notice here, you see when I turn it on, it's shift back and it's giving me this black shade area, and from on my right hand side and also on my right hand side. So what is simply telling you is that anywhere the black area, the black shade is in any area you have the black shade, that's black shade and areas will not be rendered. So the area that will be rendered is that area that is not being covered with is not being covered by the black shade. So which means these areas that you can't see the black shade will be rendered. So if you're rendering, so this also helps you to set your camera view in a better way. For instance, let me click my cell 1. So you see, so if I'm rendering big, so which means my renderings will be taken all the way from here, go this way, move this way, take it up. So this is just what your safe frame does. So which means this side that is having black shade will not be rendered. Also this side that is having black shade will not be rendered. Or the area that will be rendered is just the area that is no black shade on it. So that is just about the safe frame. So it's very important that you turn on your safe frame and set your camera angles perfectly before rendering. So the other one we're going to talk about here is we're going to talk about the image weight and the aspect ratio. So when we finish talking about the image weight and the aspect ratio, that is all we're going to talk about here today. And then before we move into the setting of lighting and applying materials. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the image weight. The weight and the height here controls how big and how clear our final image will be. For test renders, I like to keep it smaller, around 800 by 600. So it renders faster, but for my final presentation I usually set it up to 1000, 12, 14. Or if you're having a higher system, I think you can also increase it to 19 or 2000 by 108 or 1000, so which gives you a nice HD result. So if the more you increase the image weight, if I should increase this to 1004, so it also capture the other side. So whatever you do here is captured here. So if I get this image, so it's also going to give me a better HD image after rendering. So but if I'm testing my image or if I'm testing my rendering, so it's better I leave it at 800 or 600. So it was 800 before. So let's say it was 800 for, and that also determines if you are using the aspect ratio. If you are using the aspect ratio, you can choose your aspect ratio. Your aspect ratio depends on your space design, on the kind of space you design, because there are spaces that are wider, while you can use your widescreen your widescreen aspect ratio, and there are spaces that are square, then you enable you to use your square aspect ratio. You can see portrait pictures. So if you maybe probably picture, you can as well use your maybe any space, you can as well use your picture aspect ratio. So here is where we have our aspect ratio screen showcase. So we have widescreen, we have square, we have picture, we have landscape, we have portrait. You can as well customize yours if you want to do that. So if so right here we'll be using landscape. So you see when I choose my landscape, the image aspect ratio changes, but here I'm going to use 600 to do this. Yeah, so it changes. So what I'm using here, I'm going to use my landscape, and I'm using my the image width. I'm using 600 by 480. It's very okay for testing rendering. So this is all I'm going to talk about here. Then we are now moving to the lighting, and after setting up our lighting, we now apply some materials and we start the rendering. So while doing all these things, I will be using my interactive render. But when I'm done with the settings, then I will move on using my progressive render to do my final rendering. So let's talk about lighting. So we have our main light, Omni light, IES light, spotlight. We have sphere lights and we have rectangle light. So the spotlights and the IES lights are working the same thing. They are actually working the same thing. In Vray for Sketchup, lights help us control how our scene is illuminated. Just like in real photograph or real world lighting design, each light type has its own purpose, shapes and effects. From the sphere light, spotlight, Omni lights, rectangle lights, IES lights, and domain light. Like I said earlier, spotlights and IES lights are almost they are the same thing. They work the same thing, but the IES light has a file that you go online and you get the files. It has a different shape of dropping light, different shape of drop light, how your spotlight drops. The IES light has a lot of shapes of drop spotlight. But in Sketchup, the spotlight which they have included as an IES light has I think a single drop light, but you can actually control that in your viewing settings, in your viewing light settings. Okay, so talking about a rectangle light. So here, this is our rectangle light. So I'm going to just give you a brief explanation on it while I demonstrate how you can install and set up the light. So concerning all the lights, I'm going to talk about them and show you how you can actually apply the light and set them off to brighten your 3D model or your space which you have designed. A rectangle light spread light from a flat surface, not a single spot. A flat surface. It is it's like having a glowing sheet that lights up your room softly and evenly. So what it means that in your space, what brightens your space is the rectangle light. So I'm going to demonstrate this using my interactive rendering, so we see how it works. So first of all, let me remove this. So you see how you work. So let me put on my rectangle light. First, let me open my asset editor. So what I want to do actually, I want to turn off my sunlight, because if I render, you will notice there is sunlight here. So let me render using my interactive rendering, my 3D design. So you want to see the sunlight, but I want to turn it off since I'm setting my light. You can see my space is actually bright here because of the sunlight. But I want to turn off the sunlight so I can we can render and see how without lighting how it's look like. Then we move on to fix our rectangle. So right here, let me turn on my rectangle, my sunlight right now. So this is our light in viewing. So just click this and you get where your light is. Every light you're going to apply in your space will definitely come here. So if you want to turn off the sunlight, so here you just click this here and I have turned off my sunlight. So you see what I have here. You see what I have here. So I have turned off my sunlight. But in this case, let me start applying all the lights that I want to apply. So first of all, I'm going to apply my rectangle light. So let me show you how you can do that and the setting also. So pick your rectangle light. Now come for an angle here. I think here is okay for me. So drag it all the way from here. You see where I start? Then I cannot come this side. No. But for me to allow the light to spread, I need to move it this side, as if I'm using my rectangle tools to take the light. So this is it. So in this case, I have installed my rectangle light. So let's quickly go back to our rendering stage and see what we have. Okay, so you can see right now we have our rectangle light. But it seems like the rectangle light needs some setting because it's actually affecting the POP setting. It has covered all the POP setting, but there is no problem about that. So I'm going to show you how you're going to set up your rectangle light. So you can see how it brightens the room. But let's me off the rectangle light. So I click here to off the rectangle light. Let's see. So you see now it becomes darker as it was before. So let me turn on the sunlight. Let's see. So you see the sunlight effect. Probably the sunlight has a warm color. Maybe I have when I was teaching, probably I have touch the white balance in the camera section, but there is no problem about that one. So let me turn off the sunlight and turn on my rectangle light. Let's see the difference again before we can do the setting. So I have turned off my sunlight. You can as well use your sunlight, probably if you want an effect, a sunlight effect in your space. You can as well turn it on and do some good setting on your rendering before you render. So but let me turn on the rectangle light. Let's see. You see, so if you watch the rectangle light, it's kind of too bright that it has have some much illumination on my POP setting, but there is no problem. Let me show you what to do to remove that. So when you come to rectangle here, just click the arrow here. So here you do the setting, then click the rectangle light. So this is the rectangle right here. So we're going to remove this rectangle shade light because that is what covered. That is exactly what covered our POP. So I think we're going to remove this. So how do we remove this? We come to option. You come to option. You make it invisible. if you notice, as I make this invisible, and it shows that the light is no longer on my POP, so it has already turned off here. Then you can control your intensity. You can put your intensity high, so the more increase your intensity, the more bright your space is. The more increase your intensity, the more bright your space is. Or sometimes I advise you leave your intensity to 40, 50, 60, 70, or 80, depending on the space. But still, it seems like this space is kind of too small, and I'm going to leave this at you can do that 40 is okay for me. Okay, now if I want to change the color of this if I want to change the color of this the color of the rectangle light, probably I need something cool, warm, or bright. So there is no need. What I need to do is just come to the diffusion, which I have the color and texture, and I have to come here where I have this white background and click there. Then it's going to bring this for you. Then with this, you can choose which color you want to have in the space. Probably if you need a blue color, you click the blue color here. Then you come over here and choose your blue color. You pick your blue color, and it changes to a blue or cool color. Then the more thicker blue you pick, the more it changes. So probably if you are a kind of colorful like somebody, you want to set up your lighting, when you want to have a bluish lighting, you can just keep choosing the blue color, so it keep showing you the colored background in your space actually. Then probably you need another color, probably red color. You see, it changes the color. So whichever color you decide to leave your what is it called, your rectangle light, so probably that is the color of the light you are using. Maybe your roof lights, your maybe you want to have a colorful light inside. You want to see a particular color of lighting. Maybe you have your red rope light, and the area you have is you have something like a purple or pink or blue. So it's just going to demonstrate that using your rectangle light. So this is just about rectangle, but I want to go back to the white background because I'm not going to use this color. Probably later I'm going to make a beautiful design using different color lighting to demonstrate how the space is going to look. Even at the end, you might also want to have some beautiful colors on your space. Okay, so let me put this to white because I'm still demonstrating. Okay, so let us talk about our sphere light. Okay, so this is our sphere light. So but before then, I want to turn off my rectangle light so you see how our sphere light works. Okay, so let me quickly go to asset editor and turn off my rectangle light. Okay, so I have turned off my rectangle light. Okay, so let's so this is show that the rectangle light is no longer there. Okay, so now let me talk about the sphere. This is our sphere light. This is our sphere light. So the sphere light emits light in all directions from a single point, just like a light bulb. It's also called an omnidirectional light, but with a visible ball shape in the center. Think of a sphere light think of a sphere light as a real light bulb. It spreads light around in all directions. The bigger the bulb, the softer and the more natural the light looks. So sphere light is just like on your bulb. Putting on your bulb, and the how the light translates down to the space. That is just how sphere light works. So I'm going to demonstrate. Though I actually don't have a bulb here, but what I have is a spot light. I'm going to use something in that area to demonstrate that. So let me use this my drop light here, drop light. So pick up your sphere light this way, bring it here. You can zoom to do this. So you're going to set this forward. Okay, so we have finally set this in a way it looks more better. So you can see this is our sphere light, and this is how you apply this sphere light. So let's quickly check in our. Okay, so you see it's just like a bulb around here, and it's kind of illuminating the entire space. So if you can see, watch here is illuminating the entire space. But let's see, let us turn it off and see what we have, and see how it illuminates the space. But we're going to talk about this. Okay, so let me turn it off. You see, I have actually turned it off. So let's turn it off. You see, I have turned it off. But let's turn it on. Let's see. You see how bright is giving the space. So it's just like your bulb reflecting or illuminating your space, just like your bulb reflecting or illuminating your entire space. So just like what we did on the rectangle light, we also going to do that in this sphere light by coming to the option and making it invisible. So I have made it invisible, but I'm still having that illusion in that space. So that illusion, that brightness is still there. So if I turn it off, it will definitely turn off. You see, I have turned it off, So if I turn it on, it shows that my chandelier or my drop light or pendant is having this kind of illumination in that space. So let me turn it on so we see what I'm talking about. So I have turned it on. So let's also turn the rectangle light on. So because of I'm having my sphere light, so I might decide to reduce the intensity of my rectangle light to 20. So let's see. Okay, I think this is good. But before then, I want my sphere light to have a one color, not white. So let's put this in one color here. I need a higher one color. So you see how it reflects my setting. You see how it reflects my setting. So let's turn on the rectangle light and see how it looks. So is it not looking beautiful? It's actually looking beautiful and giving me this illusion that I want to have in my space, giving me this warm light. Probably I have a chandelier that has warm light, but any other light in the house that has warm light. So we use sphere lights to illuminate the space, giving you actually any kind of color light you want. If I still want probably blue light, it's actually going to give me that blue illusion. You see what I have here? This is very, very beautiful. So this is how you do your light setting. This is how you make your light setting, making it looking real. Okay. So the next one we're going to talk about so I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn it off. So we talk about other light. So the other light I'm going to talk about here is spotlight. So let me talk spotlight. So how do you apply your spotlight? Pick your spotlight here and come to where you have spotlight here, and what you need to do, attach it. Well, let me quickly explain spotlight. A spotlight emits a focused beam of light, just like a real stage or ceiling spotlight. It is directional and controllable. It has a cone shape, Light comes from a point and spread outward. You can control the lighting also from your Vray light setup. So a spotlight is like a flashlight. It shines light in one direction and helps you focus attention on a specific area or object. So that is just our spotlight. So if you watch it, has something like a cone. It has something like a cone. But so let me finish fixing the spotlight. So I think I have another light in here, and I have another one here, and I have another one here. Okay. So let's see how it works here. So I will still go back to my, let's see the way it is. Okay, so if you notice here, there is how the light drops. The dropping of the light, which is like IES light. So if you see the spotlight, look at it drops here. But let's change the color and increase intensity so you can understand or see what I'm really explaining. So here I have my spotlight. So you see, this is the dropping. How it drops is what is telling you how it drops. So let's increase the intensity and let's see. So I'm going to increase all the intensity. I will increase all the intensity for the drop lights. You can as well keep increasing this to even 4,000. Okay, so you can as well keep increasing them to 4,000 here, 4,000. 4,000, move up, 4,000, 4,000. So in your spotlight, you can increase to 4,000, 5,000. In fact, you can increase to any amount, which depends on the setting you are making, or depends on how you want to see that. So you see how it drops there. So let me quickly change one of it to probably one color, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So you see how it drops there. So let me also change all of them one color. Okay, I'm changing this. I want you to understand this very, very well. So you see how it look like. You see how it's actually looking like. So let me turn on the sphere light and see. Okay, my sphere light, I want to change the sphere light to one color. So let's just have one color and everything one color. So you see how is looking right now. So if you watch my bed, is now showing that there is light in the house. If you watch my work area, work section, it shows the light is reflecting on the text. It shows there is light in the room or in the space right now. So if you watch how the light is emanating light in the space, is looking very well. So then the next one we're going to talk about, so the same thing with the spotlight also works the same thing with RES light. So there is no different thing there. So let's talk about Omni lights. Let's talk about Omni lights. Okay, so let me turn this off. Let me turn them off. So an Omni light or point light emits light equally in all directions from a single point. It doesn't have a visible shape like a sphere light. It is more mathematical. So Omni light is like placing a tiny invisible bulb in the air. It lights up everywhere around it in all directions, but without a visible lamp. So what it means, this is my Omni light. So let's pick this Omni light and show you something in it. So probably let me come to my bedside, or let me do this here. So let me drop my Omni light. I want to brighten up here as if I put some lighting there. Okay, so let me do that here also. Let me do that here. But then I was considered to bring this out so that you don't be touching the wall. So I want to bring it out. I don't want it to touch the wall. Okay, so this is cool. This is cool. So this is, so you see. So let's now go to our setting. So you can use Omni light in anyhow. You can use it anyhow. You can use it any place. You can use it to just point where you want, where you indicating in your design that light is here, light is here, and not just that. There are also that of your rectangle light can also use that to. But all the lights you can use them to indicate that light is here, light is here. But let you see what the Omni light is telling us. So let's go back to. So you notice the space here where I drop the Omni light is now too bright. But we can as well set this. But let's see how we can set this in our viewing light box. So this is our Omni light. This is our Omni light. So let me change this to one color. Let's see if we can change to one color. Okay. Okay, so we have this inside, but we can reduce the intensity because it's kind of too bright. We don't need that brightness or much brightness in this. We can keep reducing the intensity. Okay, let me use 120 for intensity. So the same thing here, 120 for the intensity. The same thing here, 120 for intensity. So my Omni light, I'm having this. So let me turn off my rectangle light. So the rectangle light is also kind of too bright, but don't worry because we have not setting up some. We have not attached our materials in that furniture and other things there. So. Let's also turn off our sphere lights. Let's see how it's going to look like. And our spotlight, turn them on. So let's see the beauty. So if you notice in this in the box where we have the Omni light, see it shows that in this box wardrobe or cabinet box there is light there. So whoever that is going to build that cabinet over there, we definitely know that okay, here is going to attack light. You can as well use our rectangle tools to do that, and you can also use our LED light to do that. So LED light is something I'm going to talk last. So you see how this space is now looking. It kind of, so probably I want to still reduce my rectangle lights. Okay, so it's kind of looking so good. Let me put this up 9.5. Let me put intensity 10. So it kind of looking so good right now. Okay, so let's talk about the domain light. So domain light, there's nothing much. It's just like your probably your sunlight. You want to invite sunlight in the house. So let's just do some practical. I'm not going to take long on take. So I'll show you how you can use our rectangle light, our sphere light, our spotlight, and our IES light is just like spotlight. They're working the same thing. And Omni light, which we put in the box of the cabinet. So let's talk about sphere light. Then we move into materials. So where we have our rope light or red light or emissive light is inside our material, which we're going to use to brighten up the POP light. Okay, and maybe any other thing we need to brighten up. Okay, so let's so let me pick my domain lights. First, let me quickly turn off those lights so we can understand how the light works. Okay, so let me bring in my domain light. So this is my domain light. It's just like your sunlight. So probably you don't want to use your domain light, you can use your sunlight. You don't want to use your sunlight, you can as well use your domain light. To pick your domain light, which is this, I'll pick my domain. I can drop it anywhere in my space. Let's see. You see how bright is giving the space. So it's just like your sunlight. You can as well direct this domain light in one angle. Let me check with something we can do in so yes, so you see what I have here. So this is the domain light, and this is how it's very. You can as well reduce the intensity. It is too bright. So you see that. You see, it's just like having a sunlight. So here is now positioning the sunlight here. You see. So you can as well increase the domain light. So we'll be talking about how you can apply your materials from Vray to Sketchup. So the first thing I'm going to do here, we'll be using my emissive material, which is the LED POP light material first. And the second thing is to apply the wood textures on our wooden materials, which is the wardrobe and the working section decks we have in this space. And also on the CD console, I will be using different wood colors and textures. So, and the last thing will be type. So I will be very fast on this because I wouldn't want to waste time. So the video is getting too much long. So but first let's move into our asset editor. So this is my asset editor. Now I want to apply the emissive light. But in full details, where you see the names of your materials, probably you might see that in the Chaos Cosmos materials. Whenever you choose, if you are choosing to use the Chaos Cosmos materials and you see the full list of the materials, so the POP light or the LED light is being called emissive light. But here I'm only going to search for LED light, LED LED light. So this is all my LED light. Then in this place, I'm only going to choose any one I want. So I'm choosing this, the yellow light, hard to sing. Remember how I told you how I show you how to sing. So how to sing, then it's definitely going to appear here. So this is it. This is it. Then I want to change the color to one color. Yes, I want to change the color to one color, which means I need to move in here. But before then, let me increase intensity. Anyway, let me change the color first. Then I increase the intensity. So I think I'm not with this one color. Okay, that is good. Then just go off. Then let me increase intensity. So I will be using 5 for the intensity, just 5. Yeah, this is it. And what you need to do is just to come here, select this. Where you have your POP, select this. Then come to your material, your SketchUp default tray where you have this. So the light is already waiting for you. Then take this. Okay. Take this. Apply this. So let's turn to the other side and see. Okay. Apply this. So we are done applying the LED light. We are done applying the LED light. So let's test this, see how it reflects. So you see, this reflects so good, so good. But before then, before the final rendering, let's also work on our wardrobe and then working section decks and the tiles as well. Well, since I'm in love with the tiles I have there, but the tiles is from Sketchup, but I need good Vray tiles. Okay, so let's just quickly touch our decks and the wardrobe. So the wardrobe I will be using wooden color. So let's go to this. So my wooden color, I will be searching for veneer. So these are the wooden color I have, and they are lovely wooden color. They are lovely wooden color. So I will be using veneer 602 120 cm to demonstrate this. So let's take this to same. As you can see, I have my decks. If I want reflection, if I want this to reflect, you know what reflection means, how glossy a material is. So if I want this to reflect, then I have to come to my reflection. Here I have reflection. Then I can increase my reflection glossiness to this. So one is the highest, you can increase it. Then if you want to also add more reflectness on this, so you can also increase your reflection index. So we have our deflection index. You can turn it on, you can switch it on, but if you turn it on, it automatically applies to the material. So here we have 1.6, but I'm going to make this probably 1 point or approximately 1.9 is okay. 1.9. So as you can see here, I have my 1.9, which is very, very good. Now let's quickly check if I want to touch my reflection is just how light passes through the material, how the material bends light. You know, if you have your mirror or your glass and you point a torch on it, the way it bends or the way I set and bend the light is just refraction. Well, I don't need refraction on my wood, except probably I'm doing something that has to do with a mirror or glass. Or this time I don't need refraction. Then let me take you another place that is very important. So let's check the texture. Let's check the texture of this material. As you can see the texture over here, but let's check the texture here. So let's go to BOM. So we move into BOM and let's click the texture slots. So this is the texture, but the texture is kind of too tiny. But that is good anyway. I will manage that. So let's use this for the wardrobe. So make sure you select all the wardrobe bodies and pick your veneer CO2 120 cm and apply. So this way we have this. Okay, this is very, very good. Okay, this is very, very, very good. Now we are done with this wardrobe and the working decks. Work desk area, and this is looking good. So the next thing we're going to touch is touching the ties. So let's just pick ties. Go there again, go to your asset editor, then select ties. Pick your ties. Okay, let's pick this ties simple HO1 100 cm. So I'm going to demonstrate how you can change your ties from Vray to your 3D modeling project. So let's quickly pick these ties here. So which is this? I have taken these ties and it's showing here. So how do I replace these ties with another ties of my choice? It's very, very simple. What you need to do, just come over here, diffuse, where you have texture slot. So this is a texture slot. When you enter here, you will be able to change or use any ties of your choice. So let's enter here. But just know before then, you might have input the ties in your system, or you might have downloaded the ties. So let's also go to the ties, the texture slot. So we also have another texture slot. This is the second one. So moving there, then it takes you to where you see this file. You can see the file. So pick the file. Then make sure you search for where you have your ties downloaded. So I have my ties already. Let me find them. Okay, tie design. So these are all my ties I have downloaded. So because of the color of the space, I will be looking for something similar to what I am designing. I think this will be more okay. So let's pick this. Okay. Now let's go back. So if you watch, the ties is showing me a texture, a bricks texture, and I don't want this bricks texture to show in my ties surface by the time I render it. So I need to work on the bricks texture. So if you find something like this, whenever you apply your ties, it's very simple. You just come to here where you have horizontal. Note, not all ties that has this there. You might pick another ties, you might not see this. It might require you to go to your BOM texture slot to change the texture of the ties, which I'm still going to show you. So first you come here, put this to 1. Come to the vertical count, put this to 1. So which means the tiles you have is not a single tiles. You know, when you are laying tiles, you lay them single by single, except maybe you probably pick the one that have mosaic texture. Even if you pick the one that have mosaic texture, you still have to lay them one by one. So this is exactly what I'm trying to explain here. So now let's go back. If you want to go back just here, this I will take you back. So you can see our tiles has applied here. Our tiles is showing here. Then let's quickly go to the bump to change the texture as well, because the texture will definitely be in the bump. Okay, so let's click the texture source. So whenever you are changing your whenever you are looking or want to change your tiles texture or material texture, make sure where you are entering is texture slot, bump to texture slot. Okay, so let's check that. See, it's still having the same texture, but I want this white to look plain, which I still need to change the horizontal count to 1. I'll change the vertical count to 1, and I have this place. So which means my tiles, both the texture and the tiles itself is now a single tiles. Okay, now I want my tiles to reflect very, very well. So here is where I'm going to work on the reflection. Also, I will be touching the reflection and the refraction this time around. So my reflection will definitely go to 1. Then my reflection index will definitely move to 2.5. Let me use 2.5. I need more for this. Okay, this is okay. Then I have to come to where I have my refraction. Then where I have my refraction over here, then I will increase the reflection color a bit. Yes. Yeah, if you watch, it has started reflecting over here. You can see the reflection here. So then the reflection index, I also need to increase this to 2.5. You can increase it depending how reflection you want your material to be. Okay, for how much you want the material to take light and move it away from the surface. So my reflection roughness is also 1, which is good. So with this, I'm done setting the tiles. So you see, this is very simple, not something that difficult. Then let's move back to this. So let me come to where I have the tiles here. Tiles simple H0100. So I can pick my tiles floor and pick this, then apply. When apply, there is something that you also need to know. What is the size of the tiles? So you also need to know the size of the tiles. If you are using 30 by 60 tiles, you also need to know how to improve the tiles. If you are using 60 by 60 tiles, you also need to know how to improve the tiles. So whatever size you are using, here is where you do the setting. So you come to edit. Now where you have this, so you see this is the vertical and this is the horizontal. So the vertical side, probably I want 50 by 60 by 60 tiles to show when I'm done with the design or when I'm done with the render. So I want my tiles to show here, to show over here on the tiles, the floor surface 60 by 60. So what I need to do, since I'm having 100 here and I'm having 50 here, so I'll definitely come here and break the chain. Just break the chain, then come here, type in your 60. Then come here, type in your 60. So that means I'm having my tiles 60 by 60. Then when you are done, just come here and close the chain, which means my tiles is now 60 by 60. So let's quickly go back and let's work on the wardrobe TV console. So let's talk about TV console that can match this wood and this TV board. Okay, let's go to asset editor. So let me type my venue. Okay. Let's try this and let's see how it goes. Okay. Take. Okay. So I want to I've done applying the wood textures on the TV board and the floor credenza cabinet, but I want to touch more on the color. Let me see. Yeah. In this way, you can increase the color or reduce the color texture if you want. So how to do that? You just come here, select any of this, then you can as well keep changing the colors if you want. So it seems like I'm done with here. So let me quickly work on this door color. So I need something different. So I'm going to pick this from my create assets. I'm going to create a different door, a different color from creating assets. Let me quickly do this. So I go to my create asset and go to my materials. Then let me use my generic. So I'm going to be using generic to do this. So what kind of color I want? I want something that looks like white but not too white. No? Okay. Okay, this is good. So increase the color. Reduce the glossiness, because this is not, I don't need glossiness, so I can keep reducing the glossiness. Then what else? That is all. I need to add the what's it called? The texture of the wood for the door. So I come here. So I'm picking the texture from here. See, no mama, pick the texture from here. Let me go for wood texture. Okay, this is the wood texture. Let's see. Do I have another one? Let me see. Okay, let me use this texture. This is also a kind of wood texture. Yeah, this. I think this will work perfect. Yes. So I can apply this here. So you take them slowly. You don't need to rush the material whenever you apply the materials. You apply them slowly. Make sure you select every area that is needed. Okay. We are done. Right, we are done taking the door's color. Okay, let's see what else do we have here. Okay, fabric. Let's see the fabric. Let's see the bed fabric. But I think these are okay by me. Okay, these are okay, very okay by me. So I think we are done with this. Then let's render this and see how it's going to look right now. So in this, I will be increasing my. Okay, my render is already on high. This is very good. There is nothing to set here again. So everything okay. I will be using this time around. Let me increase my image weight and height to 900. Let's see how it's going to look. 900. So I'm using landscape like I've taught you guys. I've shown you guys this before. I'm using landscape. So I don't want to use my RTS. Beside my laptop is RTS engine, but I don't want to use RTS. I want to focus on CPU engine. Okay. So let me move this. Okay. Apply our wall paint. Let us apply our wall paint. So how to do it? Come to Asset Editor. When you come to Asset Editor, you have where you have, you see where you have create assets. So create the create asset, come to material. Now move on this side, move to this side. Come to material, move to this side. Then pick your generic. So when you're done picking your generic, come to generic. Pick any color you want. Maybe I want my wall to have this texture. Is this texture really good? Let me take another one. So you pick your colors there. So whichever one you think that is good for you, then you move on. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Let me see this. Okay, let me try this. So I want to increase the color, the fashion color a bit. Yes. Yeah, this is good. But I want to reduce the fashion glossiness. So I can put this to 0.7. It's okay for me. Yeah, this is okay. It's okay. So take my wall, apply, and apply. So that's all. Then we can render and see the final look of this. Okay. Now let me work on this. I don't know. So let's quickly do the final render and let's see how our space will look right now. this side, I have changed the picture frame because the previous one I used was not displaying very well. So I need to work on that personally. So let's do the final rendering. Let's see how it works right now. Okay, so let's dive in. So here I click the rendering button, which you can see render all over here. So let's do this and let's see how it goes. So let's wait for this until it's finished rendering. I'll see you later. Very, very good. Oh, the light has come. Oh, let's wait, see if this can finish rendering right now. I'm going to post and share you the video, so you can also watch how you can make your rendering more good. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you for watching. God bless you.